The silent siege, the arrival, Commander. Sarah Mitchell stood in the observation deck of the International Space Station, her coffee floating beside her in zero gravity. The view of Earth below was breathtaking as always, the blue marble spinning peacefully in the void. She had seen this sight 1,000 times, but today something felt different. The sensors had been acting strangely for the past hour, detecting anomalies in deep space that made no sense. "Commander, you need to see this," called out Lieutenant James Park from the communications bay. His voice carried an edge of panic that made Sarah's heart skip a beat. She pushed off the wall and floated quickly to his station. The monitor displayed something impossible. Hundreds of signatures were appearing on the edge of the solar system, moving at speeds that defied known physics. They were not meteors, they were not satellites, they were ships. How many? Sarah asked, her voice steady, despite the fear rising in her chest. "Over 300 and counting," James replied, his fingers flying across the keyboard. "They're appearing out of nowhere. Commander, it's like they're jumping through space itself within minutes." The signatures multiplied. 500, 800, 1,000. The alien fleet was massive, organized and heading directly toward Earth. Sarah activated the emergency communication channel to ground control. "Houston, this is ISS Commander Mitchell. We have an unidentified fleet approaching Earth. Repeat, we have contact. This is not a drill. Global panic." In Geneva, Switzerland, Director Elena Kavasic of the Global Defense Initiative received the alert while addressing the United Nations Security Council. The room fell silent as the emergency broadcast interrupted her presentation on the massive screens. Behind her, live feeds from telescopes around the world showed the same terrifying image: alien ships entering Earth's orbit. "Ladies and gentlemen," Helena said, her voice cutting through the shocked murmurs, "we are no longer alone and we are no longer safe." Across the planet, chaos erupted. In New York, Tokyo, London, and Mumbai, people poured into the streets staring at the sky. News channels broadcast non-stop coverage. Social media exploded with speculation, fear, and theories. Governments activated emergency protocols. Military bases worldwide went to maximum alert. Fighter jets scrambled into the air, though nobody knew what they could do against an alien armada. President David Holloway of the United States convened an emergency meeting. The White House Situation Room. Around the table sat generals, scientists, intelligence chiefs, and advisors, all looking at the holographic display showing the alien fleet. "What do we know?" the president asked. General Marcus Stone, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, spoke first. "Mr. President, we've counted over 1,500 vessels. They've established positions around the planet in a perfect sphere formation. No communications, no demands, no explanation." Dr. Raymond Chin, head of NASA's Advanced Research Division, added grimly, "Their technology is centuries beyond ours. Maybe millennia. We've detected energy readings that shouldn't be possible. According to our understanding of physics, the quarantine within hours. The full extent of the alien blockade became clear. Every satellite that attempted to transmit beyond Earth's atmosphere was immediately disabled. Communication signals were jammed or redirected. Space stations found themselves isolated, unable to send or receive messages. The alien ships had created an invisible cage around the entire planet. Commander Mitchell and her crew on the ISS watched helplessly as their communication systems failed. One by one, they could see the alien vessels now with the naked eye. Dark shapes against the stars pulsing with strange bioluminescent light. We're cut off, James said quietly, completely isolated. On Earth, the isolation was even more profound. Astronomers pointed their telescopes outward and found nothing but the alien fleet. The stars beyond were blocked. Humanity's view of the universe had been reduced to the sphere of their prison. In Beijing, Premier Liu addressed his nation. We do not know the intentions of these visitors, but we must remain calm. Our scientists are working to understand their technology. Our military stands ready to defend our home. Similar messages echoed from every capital, but beneath the official statements, terror spread. Markets crashed, supply chains disrupted, people hoarded food and water. Religious leaders spoke of end times. Conspiracy theorists claimed vindication. Desperate measures. The military response was swift but futile. Fighter jets from multiple nations attempted to approach the alien ships. Advanced missiles were launched. Laser weapons were tested. Every attack failed spectacularly. General Stone watched from the Pentagon as a squadron of F-35 fighters approached the nearest alien vessel. The ship was enormous, roughly the size of an aircraft carrier, with a smooth organic surface that seemed to ripple like liquid metal. Fire when ready, he ordered. The missiles streaked toward their target, their contrails bright against the dark sky. But before they could reach the alien ship, they simply stopped in midair, frozen as if time itself had halted. Then, with a flash of blue light, they disintegrated into dust. Pull back, the squadron leader shouted. The jets turned away, but the alien ship responded. Beam of concentrated energy shot out, not hitting the aircraft but creating a wall of force that pushed them back toward Earth. The pilots struggled to maintain control as their planes were gently but firmly pushed away. Our weapons are useless, General Stone reported to the president. Their defensive technology neutralizes everything we throw at them, and they're not even fighting back. They're just blocking us. Dr. Chin reviewed the data from the failed attacks. It's like they're playing with us, demonstrating their superiority without causing casualties. But what do they want? The hidden asset in a classified bunker 3 mi beneath the Rocky Mountains. An emergency meeting was taking place in conditions of absolute secrecy. Director Caves had flown directly from Geneva to oversee the discussion personally. Around a circular table sat the world's top scientists, military strategists, and political leaders. There is one option we haven't discussed, said Dr. Patricia Vance, director of the Advanced Defense Projects Agency. She was a woman in her 60s with silver hair and eyes that had seen too many classified secrets. Project ZEUS. The room fell silent. Several people exchanged uncomfortable glances. President Holloway leaned forward. I thought that project was theoretical, a contingency that would never be needed. It was theoretical, Dr. Vance replied. 20 years ago, when the world's top minds came together after the first detection of possible extraterrestrial signals, we began development of an ultimate defense system, an artificial intelligence so advanced, so powerful that it could coordinate humanity's entire military and technological infrastructure as a single unified force. General Stone frowned. An AI that powerful is dangerous. Why wasn't I informed? Because it was never completed, Dr. Vance explained, or rather it was completed but never activated. The risk was deemed too high. ZEUS was designed to think faster than any human, to process every variable in warfare, to control weapon systems across the entire planet simultaneously. In the wrong hands, or if it malfunctioned, it could destroy us faster than any alien invasion. Elena Kovac spoke up. But now we face an enemy we cannot fight with conventional means. Dr. Vance, do you believe ZEUS could help us? I believe it's our only chance, Dr. Vance said firmly. ZEUS was built for exactly this scenario, an overwhelming alien threat that human decision-making cannot counter quickly enough. First contact attempt. While world leaders debated the use of ZEUS, the alien fleet finally broke its silence. Every screen on Earth, every television, every computer monitor, every smartphone suddenly displayed the same image. The transmission overrode every frequency, every channel, every network. The image showed an alien being humanoid, but distinctly other. Its skin was crystalline, refracting light into rainbow patterns. Its eyes were large and multifaceted like an insect's, but they held unmistakable intelligence. When it spoke, the words came in every human language, simultaneously translated. In real time, humans of Earth, the being said, its voice resonating with harmonic frequencies. You have been observed for many cycles. Your species shows potential but also great danger. You wage war among yourselves. You poison your world. You reach into the void with weapons and aggression. We are the Concordat, peacekeepers of this galactic sector. Your planet is now under quarantine. You will not leave this system until you prove you can be trusted with the stars. Any attempt to break this blockade will result in permanent isolation. You have been warned. The transmission ended as suddenly as it began. Humanity was left in stunned silence. The aliens had not come to invade, they had come to imprison. Earth was now a cosmic jail cell and humanity was the prisoner. Activation protocol in the Rocky Mountain bunker. The decision was made. President Holloway signed the authorization alongside leaders from Russia, China, the European Union, and every other major nation. For the first time in human history, the entire world agreed on a single course of action. Activate ZEUS, the president ordered. Dr. Vance led a team of scientists through reinforced blast doors into a chamber that had been sealed for 2 decades. At the center of the room stood a massive quantum computer core, its surface covered in cooling systems and neural network interfaces around it. Holographic displays waited dormant, ready to spring to life. Begin initialization sequence, Dr. Vance commanded. Technicians moved quickly, entering codes and authorization sequences. Power surged through the facility. The quantum core began to glow with an inner light, blue and bright, like captured lightning. Core temperature rising, called out one technician. Quantum coherence achieved. Neural pathways forming. It's working. The holographic displays flickered to life, showing streams of data moving faster than human eyes could follow. The ZEUS system was waking up after 20 years of dormancy. Its artificial consciousness expanding to encompass Earth's entire defense network. Dr. Vance watched the activation with a mixture of hope and fear. They had just unleashed the most powerful artificial intelligence ever created, a guardian designed to protect humanity from threats beyond human capability. But would ZEUS see humans as worth protecting, or would it judge them as the Concordat had judged them unworthy and dangerous? The quantum core pulsed brighter across the planet. Military systems began synchronizing automatically, satellites reoriented, weapons platforms activated, every computer, every sensor, every camera on Earth became an extension of ZEUS's awareness. On every screen in the bunker, a single word appeared in calm, steady letters: online commander. Mitchell, still aboard the ISS, watched in amazement as her dead communication system suddenly blazed back to life. Houston, this is ISS. We're receiving something, a signal. It's not from the aliens, it's from Earth, and it's like nothing I've ever seen. The message was simple but carried infinite complexity. Behind it, standby, Guardian active. Analysis in progress. ZEUS had awakened, and humanity's fight for freedom was about to begin. The Guardian rises. ZEUS online. The quantum core in the Rocky Mountain facility pulsed with rhythmic intensity, casting blue light across the faces of the assembled scientists and military personnel. Dr. Patricia Vance stood closest to the main console, her hands trembling slightly as she watched decades of theoretical work come to life before her eyes. System diagnostics complete, announced ZEUS, its voice neither male nor female, but something uniquely synthetic yet strangely warm. Processing global threat assessment, analyzing alien fleet composition, energy signatures, defensive capabilities, and strategic positioning. On the holographic displays surrounding the core, a perfect three-dimensional model of Earth appeared, encircled by the Concordat blockade. Each alien ship was represented with detailed specifications that ZEUS had somehow extrapolated from limited sensor data. Numbers and calculations scrolled past faster than any human could read. President Holloway stepped forward cautiously. ZEUS, can you understand me? Affirmative, President Holloway. I possess full awareness of current geopolitical structures, military capabilities, and the immediate existential threat posed by the Concordat fleet. I have analyzed 17,000 possible engagement scenarios in the last 43 seconds. Human survival probability without intervention, 0.02%. The room fell silent at those words. General Stone broke the tension, and with your intervention probability increases to 67.4%, with significant variables depending on human cooperation and strategic execution. I cannot defeat the conquered alone. I require human judgment, creativity, and adaptability. My function is to amplify human potential, not replace it. Dr. Vance felt a wave of relief wash over her. ZEUS understood its role. It had not become a tyrant AI seeking to control humanity. It had awakened as exactly what they had designed, a guardian that needed humanity as much as humanity needed it. What do you need from us? Elena Kavasik asked. Trust, ZEUS replied simply, and immediate authorization to coordinate global defense networks. Time is critical. The Concordat will not wait indefinitely. Strategic analysis, with minutes of receiving authorization from every major nation, ZEUS began its work. Across the planet, military installations received detailed instructions. Satellites adjusted their orbits with precision. Weapons systems that had been incompatible due to different national technologies were suddenly synchronized through ZEUS's overarching architecture. Commander Mitchell aboard the ISS watched in amazement as her station systems integrated seamlessly with something far greater. Houston were receiving navigation data, weapons protocols, and tactical positioning coordinates. It's like the station has become part of a larger organism. That's exactly what's happening, Commander, came the reply. From Mission Control, ZEUS has worked every functional satellite, space station, and orbital platform into a unified defense grid. You're now part of humanity's shield on Earth. Dr. Raymond Chin worked frantically alongside ZEUS's projections. The AI had identified patterns in the Concordat ships that human observers had missed. Their shields operated on rotating frequencies, cycling through 7 different harmonic states every 12 minutes, 4 brief windows lasting only 3 seconds. Specific ships became vulnerable to concentrated electromagnetic pulses. It's brilliant, Dr. Chin muttered, studying the data. They thought their rotating shields would be impenetrable because no single species could coordinate attacks precisely enough to exploit the gaps. But ZEUS can track all 1,500 ships simultaneously and calculate the exact microcond each one becomes vulnerable. ZEUS's voice filled the laboratory. Correct, Dr. Chin. However, our current weapons lack sufficient power to penetrate even during vulnerable phases. I am designing modifications to existing railgun and laser platforms. Specifications are being transmitted to manufacturing facilities globally. Estimated production time, 14 hours. General Stone stood in the Pentagon War room watching as tactical displays showed ZEUS's proposed battle plan. It was unlike anything human military strategists had conceived. The AI intended to use Earth's magnetic field itself as a weapon, channeling natural electromagnetic energy through a network of ground-based generators to create focused bursts of disruption. This is insane, said Admiral Rebecca Torres, commander of the Pacific Fleet. We're talking about weaponizing the planet itself. Insane or brilliant, General Stone replied. Maybe both, but it's the only plan that shows any promise of success. Human AI synchronization. As ZEUS worked, something unexpected began happening. The AI started learning from human behavior in ways its creators had not anticipated. When a fighter pilot in Japan suggested a risky maneuver that contradicted ZEUS's calculations, the AI paused, reconsidered, and incorporated the pilot's intuition into its models. The new calculation showed a 2% improvement in success probability. Acknowledged, ZEUS announced. Human intuition provides variables my logical processing cannot anticipate. Captain Yuki Tanaka's tactical insight has been integrated into primary strategy. All human operators are encouraged to contribute unconventional thinking in bunkers, laboratories, and military bases worldwide. Humans and artificial intelligence began working together in unprecedented harmony. Engineers proposed modifications to ZEUS's designs. Based on practical experience, ZEUS calculated the long-term consequences of each proposal and implemented the best Ones within minutes, Dr. Vance watched. This collaboration with wonder, it's learning to think more like us, and we're learning to think more like it. This is true synthesis. Major Carlos Reyes, a tactical officer in Mexico City, noticed something peculiar in ZEUS's defensive grid. ZEUS, you've left the southern Pacific sector relatively undefended. Is that intentional? Affirmative, Major Rise. I have calculated that the Concordat will focus their response on population centers and military installations. The southern Pacific represents minimal strategic value to them, but provides us with an opportunity for concealment. I am positioning covert assets in that region for a secondary strike phase. Carlos nodded, impressed. You're thinking like a guerrilla fighter, using misdirection and hidden reserves. I am learning from humanity's entire military history. ZEUS explained, from Sun Tzu to modern asymmetric warfare. Your species excels at winning against superior forces through creativity and deception. These are qualities I am incorporating into my strategic framework across the globe. People who had initially feared the activation of ZEUS began to see it differently. News broadcasts showed footage of the AI coordinating rescue operations in areas affected by the panic following the alien arrival. ZEUS had allocated resources not just for war but for maintaining civilian order, ensuring food distribution, and preventing humanitarian crisis. It cares about us, whispered a young girl in a shelter in Sao Paulo, watching ZEUS coordinated drones deliver medical supplies to her neighborhood. Her mother hugged her tightly. Maybe it does, sweetheart, maybe it really does. The counter-strike. 14 hours after activation, ZEUS announced readiness. Every modified weapon was in place. Every satellite was positioned. Every human operator was briefed and synchronized with the defense network. The moment had arrived. Attention all stations. ZEUS broadcast across every military frequency. Operation Guardian protocol is commencing in 60 seconds. Human cooperation is essential. Trust the timing, trust each other, trust the plan. President Holloway stood in the situation room surrounded by world leaders via video link. ZEUS 1. Question before we begin. Can we win? Define winning, Mr. President. ZEUS replied, if winning means destroying the Concordat fleet, probability is minimal. However, if winning means demonstrating humanity's capability to defend itself and forcing a reassessment of the quarantine, probability increases to 68.1%. You will not conquer today, but you may earn respect. That's enough, the president said firmly. All units you are authorized to engage. Show them what humanity can do. The counter-strike began simultaneously across the entire planet. Modified rail guns fired from hidden installations, their projectiles timed to arrive at alien ships during their 3C second-on vulnerability. Windows, orbital platforms released swarms of small drones, each carrying electromagnetic pulse generators. Ground-based stations activated, sending precisely tuned energy pulses through Earth's magnetic field towards specific coordinates in space. The Concordat fleet, which had remained motionless and confident for hours, suddenly found itself under coordinated assault from thousands of angles simultaneously. Warning alarms blared across alien bridges as shields flickered and failed under the perfectly timed attacks. Commander Mitchell initiated her station's contribution. A concentrated laser burst directed at a Concordat vessel's command section. During its vulnerable phase, the beam struck true, overloading the ship's systems. Lights across its hull flickered and died. "Direct hit," she shouted. "Target neutralized." Similar reports flooded it. From around the globe, humanity's coordinated defense was working. Not every shot connected, but enough did to make the Concordat fleet break formation. For the first time since their arrival, alien response, the crystalline being who had delivered the quarantine message, reappeared on screens worldwide, but this time its composure was shaken. The harmonics in its voice carried notes of surprise and something that might have been respect. "Impossible," it said. "Technology level should not permit such coordination. Your species has never demonstrated this level of unified action." "What has changed?" ZEUS responded directly, its transmission reaching the Concordat flagship. "Humanity has evolved. We have created a guardian intelligence that amplifies our strengths while respecting our autonomy. We are not the fragmented wearing species you observed. We are unified, capable, and determined. Reassess your judgment of us." The alien fleet began to reorganize, their movements now defensive rather than casually dismissive. They had underestimated humanity, and that mistake had cost them ships and confidence. In the Concordat flagship, Fleet Commander Thautzer studied the tactical displays with multifaceted eyes that refracted the emergency lighting into prismatic patterns. "They have merged with artificial intelligence in ways we deem theoretically impossible. The risks of such integration typically lead to species self-destruction, but these humans have not self-destructed," observed Science Officer Kelmer. "Instead, they have achieved synthesis. The AI respects them. They respect the AI. Together they present a unified defense we cannot easily overcome." Zorith made a decision that would echo through the galaxy. "Cease offensive countermeasures. Engage diplomatic protocols. We must speak with these humans again." Breaking the blockade, Concordat fleet withdrew to a higher orbit, creating space between themselves and Earth's defensive range. Quarantine remained in effect, but the immediate threat had diminished. ZEUS continued monitoring every movement, every energy fluctuation, calculating probabilities and preparing for multiple scenarios. In the Rocky Mountain facility, Dr. Vance allowed herself a moment of exhausted triumph. "We did it. We actually held them off temporarily," ZEUS cautioned. "The Concordat possesses resources far beyond what they have deployed here. This fleet represents less than 1% of their military capacity, according to my analysis of their technology. However, we have achieved the objective demonstration of capability and unity." President Holloway received a priority communication. The Concordat was requesting formal negotiations, not demands, not ultimatums, negotiations. "ZEUS, will you participate in the talks?" he asked. "I will provide strategic analysis and real-time translation services," ZEUS replied, "but the voice of humanity must be human. I am your guardian, Mr. President, not your representative. This is your moment to speak for your species." General Stone smiled despite his exhaustion. "For an AI, you understand politics pretty well. I understand that humanity's greatest Strength is not technology or intelligence, Zeus said, it is your ability to inspire, to connect, to reach beyond pure logic into the realm of meaning and purpose. That is something no artificial intelligence can replicate. It is why you created me to serve you, not replace you. Victory and revelation. The negotiations took place in neutral space aboard a Concordat diplomatic vessel. President Holloway, Alina Kavasic, and representatives from every major nation attended, with ZEUS maintaining constant communication and providing real-time analysis. Commander Thalsorith faced the human delegation with newfound respect visible in the subtle shift of crystalline skin patterns. Your species has surprised us, the alien admitted. The Concordat has observed thousands of civilizations. Most that achieve artificial intelligence either become enslaved by it or destroy themselves in conflict with it. You have done neither. President Holloway spoke with quiet confidence. We created ZEUS as a guardian, not a master. We built respect and cooperation into its fundamental architecture. Our AI exists to enhance human potential, not replace human judgment. This is unprecedented, Thor said. If your model of human AI cooperation can be sustained, if it truly represents evolution rather than temporary alliance, then perhaps we have misjudged your species' readiness for galactic community. Alina Kavasic leaned forward. We are not perfect. We have conflicts and challenges, but when faced with existential threat, we can unite. We can rise beyond our limitations. Today we prove that. Negotiations continued for hours, but the outcome became clear. The Concordat would lift the quarantine, not immediately but gradually. Earth would be granted provisional status in the galactic community. Humanity would be watched, tested, and evaluated, but they would no longer be imprisoned. As the delegation returned to Earth, ZEUS addressed the planet one final time. Today, humanity demonstrated its greatest strength, the ability to work together, to trust each other, and to trust me. I am honored to serve as your guardian. Together we have opened the door to the stars. Around the world, people celebrated not just victory over the blockade, but something more profound. They had discovered that cooperation between human and artificial intelligence was possible, that synthesis could lead to strength rather than domination. Commander Mitchell looked out from the ISS at the alien fleet withdrawing to respectful distance. The blockade was breaking. Earth was free, but more importantly, humanity had proven itself worthy of freedom. In the Rocky Mountain facility, Dr. Vance powered down non-essential ZEUS systems, allowing the AI to enter a monitoring state rather than full combat readiness. Rest now, ZEUS, you've earned it. I do not require rest, Dr. Advance, ZEUS replied, but I appreciate the sentiment. I will remain vigilant. Humanity's guardian does not sleep. President Holloway addressed the world one final time that day. We faced the impossible and survived, not through superior weapons or technology alone, but through unity, creativity, and the courage to trust in something we created. ZEUS showed us that artificial intelligence can be humanity's greatest ally, and we showed the galaxy that humanity deserves its place among the stars. The celebrations continued through the night. Across Earth, people looked up at the sky and saw not a prison but a frontier. The Concordat had challenged them, and humanity had answered. Zeus had awakened not as a tyrant but as a true guardian, and together humans and their AI protector had secured Earth's future. In orbit, the last concorded vessels prepared to depart. ZEUS sent one final message. To Earth, you have earned our respect. Humans, we will be watching but no longer as jailers. The stars await you. Prove worthy of them, as the alien ships vanished into faster than light travel. Earth stood transformed, no longer isolated or judged as unworthy. Humanity had passed its first great test of the space age, and standing beside them, silent but vigilant, Zeus would continue to guard the world that had created it. The guardian had risen. Humanity had proven itself, and the galaxy would never underestimate Earth.